All right, we are live on YouTube. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a lovely day today was. Beautiful sunshine, warm but not too warm. And I am delighted to welcome you to our Shabbat service with Congregation Shalom, whether you're in the room, whether you're on Zoom, or watching us on YouTube Live. It's my pleasure to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We're going to begin our Shabbat worship this evening on page 12. If you have the weekday Shabbat and festival combined prayer book, otherwise known as the Big Book, you will find it on page 130. We're going to begin with Lechu Niranana. Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai, Naria, Naria, Letzuri, Sheinu Nikad Mafana, B'toda, Naria, Naria, Letzuri, Sheinu, Bizmirot, Naria, Lo, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai. We continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. You will find it on pages 2 and 3, pages 120, 121 in the Big Book. Who would like to light the candles this Shabbat? Any takers?
I will.
Thank you, Lacey.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. This lighter and I have a feud. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lacey. Let's continue on page 8, 126 in the Big Book. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. We continue with Lechat Odi. You'll find it on page 20, page 138 in the Big Book. As always, we'll sing verses 1 to 5 and 9. And when we reach Verse 9, we rise and face the rear of the sanctuary to welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha dodi likar kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likar kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamilchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemu tiferet v'litfilah. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'melcha, ki mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem lesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tefila. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orek umi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayik nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boiv shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzola, tochem unei am segula. Boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nikabela. You're seated. A Kavanah from outside the prayer book by Rich Orloff. Looking out the window, feeling grateful, I wonder what I have done to deserve life. Nothing, I hear. It's a gift. Gifts are not earned. They're gifts, not rewards. I confess I am so afraid this gift will be taken from me, I often forget how to make full use of it. All gifts are temporary, even if they last a lifetime. The only way to appreciate such a gift is to enjoy it. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 28, page 26, page 144 in the Big Book. Yitkadav yitkadav shemei Rabba. Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyom echon uv'chayetecho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'li'al me'amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. We turn to page 28, 146 in the big book for the Baruch Hu. We rise as able and remain standing through the Shema. We continue on page 31, 149 in the big book. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Let's continue responsively on page 33, 151, in the middle of the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things your Torah gives to us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34, 152. Adonai, We continue on the back side of our bulletin with Julie Silver's Ve'ahavta. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise. We continue on page 39, 157 in the big book. Let's read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, 158. Turn to page 342, 647, 646 in the big book. timbrels, followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove, one would sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and reach trudge to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. We turn back to page 42, 160 in the big book. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, 162. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, lasot et hashabat l'dodotam, berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, Hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, Lasot et Hashabbat ledorotam, Berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, Lasot et Hashabbat ledorotam, Berit olam. We turn to page 46, 164 in the big book, and as able, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed. Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al givurot, umito melach, Melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha salah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We are seated. Page 55, 173 in the big book. Let's read responsively. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans.
Shock us, Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred.
Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 61, 179 in the big book. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace. And give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. We take a few moments for silent reflection and prayer, using the words on the next few pages or those that flow from our hearts. Oseh Shalom is on page 62, 180 in the big book. Oseh Shalom bimrochav, uya aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimrochav, uya aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimrochav, uya aseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel. This week, we will being a leap year, we're welcoming the second Adar. And we are commanded to be happy in the month of Adar. There's quite a controversy going on online. I don't know if you've seen it, about with the war going on in Israel and Gaza. Can we celebrate? Can we be happy during Adar with this war going on? What do you think? Should we be happy? Should we be celebrating with the war going on? What are your thoughts?
Don't we always celebrate regardless of a war that goes on?
Yeah, we don't
We don't have to be happy about it, but at least we can show up and participate.
That's my thought.
So what are we happy about or celebrating? We're celebrating God, and that can be done no matter what.
Exactly, and we're celebrating the miracle of prevailing, over our enemies, and God willing, again, we will. But we're commanded to celebrate the festivals and the holidays, and even in a time of mourning, when we're sitting Shiva, when we're mourning our beloved, we have to take a break on Shabbat to celebrate Shabbat. We're not allowed to mourn on Shabbat. Just like even though we're in the middle of a war, we have to celebrate Purim. So, I come down on the side of, we have to celebrate, and even though we can know what's going on and be thoughtful about what's going on and be concerned about what's going on, still, we're going to celebrate our holidays. We're going to be happy on the holidays. We're going to observe them and, take joy in them. So we turn to page 261, page 379 in the big book, as we turn to the blessing of the new month. 261, 379. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, shetechadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba letova v'livracha. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Adar Sheni, Yihya B'Yom Sheni Haba. The new month of Adar 2 will begin on Sunday night and Monday. Are there any birthdays or anniversaries this week that I'm not aware of?
I celebrate twice if you
You can celebrate the whole month if you want, but you get one birthday blessing.
And one lollipop, no extra.
That's what I wanted.
All right. While we're here, let's turn to back to page 259. Page 259, page 377 in the big book, for the prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Barech Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Yulatenu, Hagein Aleha be'evrat chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha ve'amatcha l'rosheha, Sareha v'yoatzeha, V'takneim be'etzah tova milfanecha, v'natata shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam liyoshveha, v'nomar amen. Let's read together in English. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Our thoughts turn now to those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. For that, we turn to page 253, page 371 in the big book. Misha Berach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Patty Baker, Sarah Cohen, Bruce Dalby, Carolyn Dowland, Stuart Dowland, Vito Frescas, Bernard Gottlieb, Rob Hackett, Melody Hudson, Suzanne Carfield, Alex Langdale, Jenna Lesser, Arthur McLeod, Dennis Martin, September McLeod, Mike McNerney, Robert Medeiros, Adriana Meyer, Carol Miller, Marge Muldoon, Cobb Muter, Min Muter, Robin Nelson, John Robertson, Pamela Roberto, Shimshon ben Abraham V'Sarah, Jennifer Simlin, Mike Stern, Emilio Vasquez, Keel Wheelis, Kay Williams, Betsy Winokur, Sue Weintraub. Are there others for whom we are praying for healing this Shabbat to speak? Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else in the room? Lacey?
Yes, Bryant Dolby, Cheryl Dolby, and Molly Morales.
Thank you. Anybody on Zoom? Eileen? Oh, you're muted.
I'll unmute her.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have to talk. Sorry. Jackie Klieger, Maureen Frevely, Jerry Grant, and Ronnie Ings. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Anybody else on Zoom?
Roberta Johnson. I don't know what's the matter with the feed.
Paula, you have 2 signed in. That's why.
Anybody else on Zoom? For those whom we've named and for those we name in our hearts, we continue. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem L'Hachalimam U'L'Rapotam U'L'Hachazikam V'Yishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim Refuat HaNefesh U'Refuat HaGuf Hashta Be'agala B'Zman Kariv V'Nomar Amen. And we continue with the Misha Berach that we sing together, which continues on that same page. A number of years ago, when Maury was away for a weekend visiting his parents, I binge watched the first season of The Handmaid's Tale. I then read the books and watched the following seasons of Hulu in the recent years. If you haven't heard of The Handmaid's Tale, it is the story of a dystopian society in which women are devalued and degraded, forced into specific societal roles. These roles include handmaids, who are fertile women who have committed crimes or broken some societal rule imposed by men, and have been forced to bear children for infertile wives. Wives are high society, often infertile women. Though once it is determined that they are infertile, they are forbidden from actual sexual relations with their husbands. However, they must complete all sexual and childbearing rituals beside the handmaids. They must lie underneath them while they have sex with their husbands, and sit in the birthing chair while the handmaid gives birth. Their husbands are commanders, the men who control Gilead, which is today's United States. Aunts are militaristic authoritarians who train the handmaids in their future jobs. Finally, Marthas are essentially maids who cook and clean and keep house. Handmaids are the lowest rung of society, despite their role of producing that very society. Once they have given birth 3 times or proven themselves infertile, they are stoned to death or sent to the colonies to work themselves to death. I never in my life would have thought it possible that we would be facing anything close to this in my lifetime. But 3 justices later, the Supreme Court struck down a woman's protected right to privacy that had been in place for 50 years. And all of a sudden, women's health, women's reproductive rights, and women's autonomy are all under attack across our beloved United States of America. What does this have to do with the Torah? Well, this week's Torah portion, Vayakhel, offers continued insight into the construction of the Mishkan, God's dwelling place in the wilderness. Highly skilled craftsmen use their gifts to construct and adorn what will become a sacred place, a sacred space. Objects once mundane are repurposed for sacred service by Israelite artisans. Toward the end of the Parsha, we get a surprising glimpse into the life of one of these objects. The bronze wash basin that the priests will use to cleanse themselves before entering the Mishkan. We read that Bezalel made the basin and its accompanying stand from the mirrors that the women who crowded at the entrance to the tent of the meeting. Where did these mirrors come from? What is their significance for the identity of the Israelite nation? What do they reflect back to us from their place in the Mishkan? Building on this fleeting reference in the biblical text, there's a midrash that recounts a powerful tale. Pharaoh sought to limit the Israelite population growth not only by imposing harsh labor, but by enforcing celibacy. Pharaoh decreed against them that they should not sleep at home nor have relations with their wives. In response, says the Midrash, the Israelite women brought food and wine to their husbands in the field, and when they had eaten and drunk, the women would take their mirrors and look at them with their husbands, and she would say, "I am more beautiful than you," and he would say, "I am more beautiful than you." This playful erotic banter aroused mutual desire, and as a result, the Israelites were fruitful and multiplied. The Midrash teaches us that the Israelite women refused to let death and despair have the last word. Living in an empire which devalued and dehumanized them, the women devoted themselves to creating new life. Demoralized and exhausted from their labor in the fields, they looked at their own reflections and those of their husbands and saw beauty and dignity. They saw a future, a life beyond Egypt. It was these very mirrors that the Israelite women contributed to the building of the Mishkan. At first, the Midrash continues, Moses refused to accept the mirrors, dismissing them as tools of vanity. But God stepped in to teach Moses a lesson. Moses, these you despise. These mirrors raised up all those hosts in Egypt. God's words reflect an interesting pun. The women who crowded, in Hebrew tzofot, at the entrance to the Mishkan generated the hosts, in Hebrew tzivaot, of Israelites who went forth from slavery. They share a Hebrew root. They're connected. Dr. Rachel Alleman writes, in this midrash, God is seen to be on the side of women, with their audacious mission to guarantee that life find a way, while Moses is rebuked for rejecting the mirrors. When God defends the women's donation of the mirrors against Moses' violent rejection, their significance as icons of vanity is transformed into emblems of resistance, even transformation. We read in the Talmud, in reward for the righteous women of that generation, Israel was redeemed from Egypt. Redemption, our sages insist, came about only because of the deeds of righteous women. As Aviva Zornberg writes, these women act as God had done at the beginning of time. They create and nurture life. That is, in the simplest sense, the meaning of redemption. From the experiences of the Israelite women, as taught by the Midrash, we might derive a universal principle. Even in the bleakest of circumstances, we are obligated to protect and nurture life. The Israelite women employed the tools available to them, their mirrors, as well as courage and love, to build a better future for themselves and their children. So also are we called to use the tools available to us to resist oppression, nurture life, and work toward a vibrant and flourishing future. The mirrors, originally instruments of vanity and self-regard, were transformed into sacred vessels that would lift the entire community to the sacred purpose of generating and sustaining life. As co-authors and inheritors of Jewish tradition, we are accountable to those brave women who took their mirrors out into the fields and saw beauty and dignity in their broken down bodies, who demanded to be heard, and who refused to let death and oppression have the last word. Neither may we allow oppression to have the last word. Today we observe International Women's Day, a global day set aside to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, a day intended to amplify women's voices as part of Women's History Month. International Women's Day asks us to consider broad issues of women's equality around the world, and also to reflect on our own lives and those of our mothers, sisters, daughters, spouses, and friends. It is not about hypothetical women's equality. It's about real, tangible justice. As you well know, we are in the midst of election season. Having just completed the first stage of our state and federal primary, we look ahead to runoff elections and then to the general election in November. On Yom Kippur in 2022, I spoke to you of our sacred obligation to vote. While I will never suggest who you should vote for, I will most definitely remind you that exercising your right to vote is the only way to prevent the Handmaid's Tale from becoming our reality. This Shabbat and every Shabbat, I pray that we honor our ancestors, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Dinah, Miriam, Machla, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah, the daughters of Zelophehad, Deborah, Yael, and all of their sister Israelites, by ensuring that our women, those who are with us today, our daughters and granddaughters, and those who will come after them, will live with the tradition, with the freedom to make their own decisions about their health, their bodies, and who and how they love. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will and ours. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi. That was wonderful. Okay, Shabbat Shalom to everyone in the room, everyone on Zoom, and those on YouTube. Please join us on March 15th for our third Friday No Host Dinner. This month we'll be going to Pasha Mediterranean Grill, which is just up the road on Wurzbach. The Congregation Shalom Mahjong Club invites you to play on Sunday, March 17th at 1:30 p.m. at the Corner Bakery Cafe. You can contact Sandra Singer or Andrea Cohn to learn more. Online, on Tuesday, March 19th, Rabbi Lisa will be teaching a course on masking and unmasking, an exploration of Megillat Esther. And the registration link is in our weekly newsletter or on the website. And of course, Purim is coming. Saturday, March 23rd at 6 p.m., a Western Purim and chili cook-off. We have a great spiel planned, wonderful people who have volunteered to be in it. Very excited. And we'll have our chili cook-off. If you haven't registered yet, the link is in your email or on the website. And of course, Passover will be here before we know it. Watch your email this Sunday or maybe Monday, probably Sunday, for information on registering for our second night Seder. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, we're going to continue with our concluding portion of our service, beginning with Aleinu L'Shabeach. You will find it on page 283, page 283. Please rise. Page 587 in the big book. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo Ushemo Echad. Page 295, 599 in the big book. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those who we have joined into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, we remember Alice Joyce Laney, grandmother of Lacey Dalby, Jeanette Sanders, great aunt of Lacey Dalby. We also remember this Shabbat Lena Klieger, grandmother of Eileen Callahan, whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of her death, is remembered this Shabbat. Are there others who are observing a yahrzeit or remembering somebody for Kaddish this Shabbat?
Joyce Slocum and Steve Lawrence.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody on Zoom? We remember 10 people who perished in the Holocaust: Mariana Pieper, Fanny Betsy Petzel, Margot Freeman, Sartia Gosler, Leah Gubitz, Rosette Groen, Elise Grunbaum, Sophia Halberstad, Rebecca Hanf, Selma Flora Hartog. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. As we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, 598 in the big book. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei uvyomei u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ulamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yisrei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens help us to make peace here on earth and send peace to all who are bereaved, as we say. Amen. Please be seated. We are going to conclude with Adon Olam. You will find it on page 321, page 625 in the big book. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam V'yacharei Kitlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh Tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam V'hu Echad V'ein Sheni Lahamshilo Lahachbira Adon Olam Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Below Hos, V'ham Yisra, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'chepso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Go'ali, V'tzor Chavli B'yet Sarah Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi Umanosli, Minat Kosi B'yom Nefra Adon Olam, Azai Melech Shimon Nikra Adon Olam B'yado Avkidruchi B'yet Dishan V'yaira Adon Olam Ve'imruchi Gaviati Adon Ali V'lo Ira Adon Olam Asher Malach Keterem Ho Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'chepto Ko Azai Melech Shimon Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Who would like to lead us in the Kiddush this evening? All right, Maury.
Of course.
Of course. You'll find it on page 5, page 123 in the big book.
And this is the one that I couldn't get on Zoom. Wait for Adam Who's driving tonight, Dave? What happened? You drank his. Spit it out, sure, go ahead, put it back in the cup. I'll give him another one, Adam. Give him a clean one, go ahead. All right, very good. All right, everybody, you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho Ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit Ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh Zecher litziat Mitzrayim Ki banu v'acharta Yotanu Kidashta Mikol Hamim B'Shabbat Kodshecha B'Yahava Uvratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'tei avon. Turn off the streaming.